Hello, I am Emefa Akosia Adeti and welcome to Joy News Today. The bulletin is live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra and on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, minority in Parliament escalates concerns over Speaker's suspension of 3 of its colleagues to its national party as it prepares to engage the Speaker over a decision they describe as completely illegal. Also, alternate dispute resolution experts want Speaker of Parliament to interdict instead of suspending the 4 members of Parliament for their involvement in last Thursday's scuffle at the Appointments Committee sitting. We have more. However, also, Environmental Protection Authority moves to halt mining operations along the tributaries of the Ofin River at Pasoro in the Ashanti region. We have details. Please stay.
Checks by the
Many thanks for choosing us. Now, this afternoon, an alternate dispute resolution expert is urging Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin to reverse his decision to suspend 4 members of Parliament for their roles in chaotic scenes that characterized last Thursday's sitting at the Appointments Committee. Alban Bagbin on Friday condemned the verbal exchanges, scuffles, and destruction of equipment during the vetting of ministers designates and suspended the 2 chief whips for both the minority and majority caucuses, Roxton Nelson Dafiamekpo and Frankana Dompre, as well as Alassane Solimana Tompoli and Jerry Ahmed Shaibu. Speaking on News Desk earlier, Austin Gamey said an interdiction will be better. An investigative committee also will be better.
I'm sure this morning, if they go to their conclave with their leadership and they can reflect properly, the right approach, as I know it, is that they are to be interdicted pending the committee's work and submission of report, because suspension itself is a punishment. And you cannot punish anyone, when you have not heard him or her. And so appropriately, I would suggest that this morning they should take notice and revert the suspension to interdiction pending the work of the committee. I think that appropriately is what should be done. And that sit into normal policy direction in managing disciplinary matters in workplace. Indeed, parliamentarians should know that they are there in the interest of the public. I was a 2-term member of parliament. I know what it is. There can be some misbehavior sometimes, but they've gone off mark.
But former Member of Parliament for Sekendi, Andrew Ejapa-Mensah, disagrees. He says the Speaker has no right to suspend any Member of Parliament.
The element of interdiction that my senior colleague introduces. I don't know to what extent that can be applicable, because these are members who are supposed to be in the chamber representing their constituents. It is not, strictly speaking, a workplace environment where, for example, because somebody's presence may interfere in the investigation, if you like, okay, and so an interdiction may then be necessary. This is, if the rules are complied with, necessarily being referred to a committee to give them a hearing. They will not be members of the committee necessarily. And the rules do not provide for interdiction. So I do not see how that can be applied.
Still on this issue, the minority this afternoon in Parliament say they have escalated their concerns regarding the decision by Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin to suspend 3 of its members to the National Party and will fight it to the end. Minority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre and one of his deputies, Jerry Ahmed Shaib and Hassan Tampoli, have been suspended for 2 weeks for their role in the disorderly conduct witnessed at the Appointments Committee on Thursday. Addressing a news conference in Parliament, Minority Leader Alexander Penyomarkin said the opposition New Patriotic Party takes strong exception to the Speaker's decision and will fight it.
Which would trigger a breach of privilege and, by extension, the need for certain actions to be taken. A committee must be set to look into this. On this occasion, Mr. Speaker was dealing with a disorderly conduct which took place at the committee level, where the chairman of the committee had a mandate to deal with the matters. He now says that he has, on his own, suspended these members without hearing them. The chair of the committee did not communicate anything to the Speaker. Neither did the Speaker invite any of us in leadership for any discussion. In any event, even where there is punishment, our rules are clear. It can be for 4 days, 8 days, or 12 days according to Order 130. Can a judge shoot a thief on the streets merely because it is his view that the person has stolen without taking him through the process of evidence gathering? What becomes of the old saying that if all men find a man's hand in a till, his guilt must be proven? We are aware that the NDC majority itself has disrespected or disregarded Mr. Speaker's orders. In fact, on the day, one of his consequential orders was to the effect that the selection committee must meet immediately and reconstitute the appointment committee. The NDC majority caucus decided to proceed with the vetting without any due regard.
Away from that, the Environmental Protection Authority has moved to halt mining operations along the tributaries of the Ofin River at the Pasoro in the Ashanti region. The EPA has observed most of the illegal miners have failed to halt activities near river bodies, which is part of efforts to reclaim river bodies affected by illegal mining. Chief Executive Officer Professor Nana Ama Brown-Kluche reveals the EPA will ensure mining along river bodies are stopped to restore the sanctity of water bodies. Nana Yaojima has more in the following report.
The EPA issued a directive last month ordering the cessation of all mining activities within and along water bodies. It further indicated preparedness to seize and prosecute persons acting contrary to the directive. Checks by the EPA revealed persons perpetrating the illegality at Pasoro tributary of the Ofin River continued to mine despite the order. Though the miners were absent at the time of the visit, 3 excavators and other equipment used in the mining operations were mounted at the site. According to experts, the pit is newly dug for the mining activities. CEO of the EPA, Professor Nana Ama Brown-Kluche, expressed disappointment at the spate of destruction.
When we came, we didn't find the miners on ground, but we have seen the level of destruction that has happened here. We've seen also not just the gold mine, there's also sand winning in this area. There's a lot at stake. So you can see the pit behind me. This pit, we need to reclaim the land. We need to rehabilitate the water. We looked at the water, the color of the water. You see a clear pollution of the water. We are here, we have seen it with our naked eyes for the first time. This is my first visit since I took office, and it's pathetic. I'll plead with the communities and their elders, the chiefs, to come in, step in this.
Continuous mining in the river bodies has resulted in the destruction of some water bodies in the country. To the EPA, restoration of the river bodies remain a priority.
So our first focus has been on the water bodies because it is pathetic. We can't do without water. If our river bodies are all getting polluted and taps are not having water running through them, it's an emergency we need to tackle immediately. So that is where we started from.
Meanwhile, the tributary of the Offin River is also affected by illegal sand winning. Huge acres of land are destroyed by the winners. Professor Kluche revealed the area will come under regulation.
EPA still regulates the sand winning or sand mining activities. So we just need to ensure that the miners of the sand have the right permit to do what they do. It is EPA's mandate to regulate that as well. Of course, they also go through the Minerals Commission for some licenses and access and all of that. We also want to plead with all the other agencies that are involved in such mining activities, providing the licenses and regulation to also up their game.
For Joy News, Nana Yochima, Kumasi.
Now let's stay on this a bit more as it is Galamsey and the heart of our conversations here at Joy News. Nanaya Ojima joins us via Zoom. Nanaya, so she mentioned that it's her first visit to the place since she started or since she took over the EPA. She also says that clearly people who are not licensed to be mining over there are not going to be allowed. But did she outline specific activities that she's going to be ensuring? Nanaya, if you can hear me, maybe you might want to unmute. Can you unmute if you can hear me? I'm trying to connect to Nanaya Ojima, who brought us that story. We want to understand specifically whether the EPA boss has been outlining specific activities they're going to be undertaking while, starting this operation, halt mining, illegal mining. But if Nanaya can hear me, Nanaya. Right, I will try and reconnect with Nanaya, but moving away from that story. Well, Nanaya, if you can hear me. Hi, Nanaya. Nanaya, kindly unmute.
Yeah, MFI, you are audible now.
Perfect. Did you hear my question or you'd like me to go over it?
Please do.
Right, so I'm asking that, did she outline specific activities that she was going to be undertaking to, what we call the Operation Halt Mining? What exactly did she say? But I'll come back to you. Please hold on there. I'm taking you back to Parliament.
Meetings that we have this morning. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are grateful for your presence to cover this press briefing on how our committee intends to carry out its work. Through a short notice, indeed the media's effort at helping to inform the public on events in Parliament has been very helpful. And we are thankful for your continued support in this direction. Fellow citizens, you are all aware that on Friday, the 30th of January 2025, the Right Honourable Speaker constituted this committee to look into the unfortunate incident that occurred on Thursday, 30th January, in the morning of Friday, 31st January, at the vetting committee sitting. Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that the Right Honourable Speaker gave this committee a very short period of time, only 10 days, to submit its report on the unfortunate incident. Considering the urgency with which we are to work and present our report, we have decided to outline the modalities and rules of engagement relative to the committee's work. Firstly, and by way of emphasis of our job, we are to conduct a full-scale investigation into the event of Thursday, 30th January, and the morning of 31st January. 2, identify all members involved in the disorder and submit a report with findings and recommendations. To do this, the committee wishes to announce that we have decided to hold a public hearing of all the issues starting from Wednesday here in Parliament House at 10 a.m. prompt. We shall expect members of Parliament, the media, the guests who were present at the vetting room, as well as members of the general public, to voluntarily appear to assist the committee with the relevant information on the incident. The committee has created a digital platform, a WhatsApp platform, where we shall receive multimedia evidence, including videos, audios, and text to facilitate a speedy execution of the committee's tasks. This, I will give the number, and for those who are interested in sending us evidence either by video or any evidence that they have, we'll send it to the clerk, to the committee on 0244 926 911. The number again I want to repeat. Anyone, either from a media house or individuals who were there, who want to send us videos, audios, or any tests on the incident, please send it to the clerk of this committee on 0244 926 911. The committee has decided that we will solicit the service of a forensic expert from the Ghana Police Service to assist with the authentication and analysis and validation of any multimedia evidence that will be received from the witness. Starting from this morning or this afternoon, we will start viewing some of the video evidences that Parliament has. The committee will also provide opportunity for in-camera, in-case hearing for a person who may wish to utilize such an avenue to provide useful evidence to assist the committee. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our hope that all citizens will stand with Parliament of Ghana in this trying moment to assist in rebuilding our enviable democratic attributes as we undertake to execute this task. In conclusion, the committee would like to place on record that it is not part of its job to target or witch hunt anyone. And I want to repeat it. We are not here to witch hunt any of our colleagues or members of Parliament. This work is to look for evidence of any member of Parliament who may have flouted the rules of engagement in this House. Hence, we are appealing to all and sundry to volunteer information that will help bring a lasting peace and collaborative spirit into the work of not only the appointment committee, but ultimately to the entire House of Parliament. I thank you very much for your attention and good afternoon. from the onset that we are a 7-member committee. And if you care to know, I will mention the names of those who are members. Honorable Emmanuel Bejura, myself, who is the chairman of this committee. Honorable Kwame Enyimedu Entry, he joined us this morning via Zoom. He mentioned that he's in the constituency, but he'll be here tomorrow. But he has joined the preliminary discussion via Zoom. Honorable Gisela Akushika Tete Agbotui, Mrs., who is out of the jurisdiction, and she also joined us via Zoom. Honorable Abena Ose Asari could not join via Zoom, even though she stated on her platform that she'll be here tomorrow. Honorable Zaneto Ajiman Rollins, doctor, she is here in person. Honorable Vincent Opon Asamoah also joined via Zoom. In fact, he is on the way coming from his constituency. He joined via Zoom, and I'm sure by the close of the day, he will also be here to watch the video, the initial video with us. Then we have Honorable Bid Awantazuma Zidin. He's sitting on my right hand. Please help me.
It's pronounced properly. My first name is Bede. And don't be afraid about the spelling. The spelling is B-E-D-E, but it's pronounced Bede. In fact, the remainder of the name is Venerable. So it ought to be pronounced Bede Venerable. But you know why it was deleted? Because it was too long. My second name, middle name, is Anwatazuma. Anwatazuma. That is correct. Yes. And yes, the meaning is that who doesn't have an insult? In other words, everybody has an insult. So when you are insulting people, know that you have an insult. And my surname is Ziedeng. Ziedeng. But the media in Ghana here is Zideng. It is Ziedeng. Yes. So thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the media, as I mentioned earlier, these are the members of the committee. I've also noticed that I stated in my press report that we'll need information from multimedia, and my attention has been drawn to the fact that I should explain the multimedia. It's not multimedia, Joy FM, but multi means either video, audio, or text messages from anybody, whether you were there in person or you receive any information. Please send it to us on that platform or the number that I've stated. With that, we will start our work today, or we'll start viewing the videos that Parliament has given to us, and that will be done by only members of the committee. The public hearing will be after we have viewed the videos, and then we start inviting colleagues for interrogation. That is where the public hearing will start. I thank you once again, and God richly bless all of us.
Welcome back to the studio. So we just brought you the committee that's been set up by the Speaker of Parliament to investigate that chaos that happened last Thursday. And as you've just seen, the chairman for the committee, Emmanuel Bejura, Whole West MP or Ho West Member of Parliament is the chair for that 7-member committee. Now, most importantly, you should keep this number 0244-926-911, 0244-926-911. That if you have any vital information, be it text message, be it a video, whether you were there or not, that would help or assist in the investigation, you should be happy to share that information on that number, as they have created a WhatsApp group to be able to consolidate every information that we'll need. And our colleague, Akwekwa Asante, is in there, will bring us all the details that would unfold when the public hearing starts. But away from that, initial investigation has revealed a power outage ignited the inferno which swept through garage zone 21 of the Swami Industrial Enclave in Kumasi. At least 25 shops and 34 vehicles were destroyed on Friday night. Before we hear from the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Fire Service, here is a report on the aftermath of the fire incident.
Little information we've gathered so far points to the fact that there was the lights went out. Oh, okay. Around that area in the evening of Friday. When the lights came back, there was some sparks on the service pole that is very close to a late turning workshop. So when the spark fell on the workshop, we started a fire and spread to other portions of that area. Per what they deal in fact, they have shops around, they have stores that also sell these oil, which are flammable substances. So when the fire got to the shops, it burnt and the oil spread to, in fact, across the street to other vehicles and shops that were there, and they also caught fire. So far, that is what we've gathered. Investigators are continuing to ensure that they establish whether that is what caused the fire or something else caused the fire.
Well, instead, what you have just seen is the PRO of the fire service in the Ashanti region, the ADO2, Peter Adai, explaining the cause of the fire. But let's go to my colleague, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku, to bring us updates. Emmanuel, I'm unable to show the reports because I don't have it now, but please give me details. Again, the fire service has told us the initial investigation, but report again exactly what happened.
All right, so MFA, the fire, we understand, started about somewhere 11 p.m. That's on Friday night. I had actually a call from a police officer on this particular incident during the evening. And from the eyewitnesses who were there, they explained that they had placed initial calls to the fire department for the area. And so when the calls went through, they did not hear anything from them and had to rush to the Bremai fire station in that particular area. And they also explained that there was no fire tender to attend to this particular call until a fire tender from Mampontin came to the Swami Industrial Enclave, particularly the garage 20 and zone 21 at the Swami Industrial Enclave to douse this particular fire. And as explained by Peter Adai, DO2 Peter Adai, the cause of the fire, as according to him, says that it started from a power outage that happened in the evening. And so when the lights came back, it sparked or ignited the fire and touched a nearby shop. And because this particular area, there's some industrial enclave, hosts or houses some of the highly combustible items that we have. We're talking about the cars, oils, and even any highly inflammable products. It just spread through the entire community, burning a lot of, or destroying a lot of vehicles. We understand that some 32 vehicles were destroyed as a result of this particular fire incident at Swami. We also understand that at least some 25 shops were actually tossed by this particular fire incident. So with the vehicles, we understand that 17 of them were saloon cars, 9 were minibuses, 8 were heavy trucks and a pickup. And when you speak with the owners of these particular shops, they tell me some of these vehicles were actually already serviced and they were ready to give them out to the owners. But because it has been tossed, they do not know even how to even fine money and maybe even repay for them. But when you go to the fire scene or the place as we speak now, the artisans there have managed to discard some of the items that were burnt, and so they are trying to salvage a little that they can and also get back to get their livelihoods back on track. The National Disaster Management Organization, I saw them around trying to gather some information on to ascertain how they can actually help some of these artisans in the enclave. MFA.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. That's some fire right there in the Ashanti region. A lot of fire, sadly. But away from the Ashanti region, Kurunti Hene of Kejebi traditional area is asking the District Security Council to, as a matter of urgency, clamp down on the sale of petroleum products on tabletops. Nana Kwekudua II says the trend is worrying, seeing the recent spate of fire outbreaks across the country. Now, Peter Senu has more in the following report.
There is a growing trend of selling fuel, especially petrol, on tabletops in Kejebi district. This has led to at least one shop experiencing fire outbreak in 2024 due to the presence of activities involving those who fry yam for sale. This development is what the chiefs of the area are concerned about, especially seeing the recent fire outbreaks across the country. Nana Kwekudua II is the Kurunti Hene and the regent for Kejebi traditional area.
This Akwesidai, one of the most important topic that came up was retailing of petroleum products, especially petrol, also known as PMS, on tabletops. And if I am right, I believe we are sitting on a time bomb. Anyone who sells anything surely will have a stock behind the main items is displaying. So my fear is, what stocks of fuel do people have in their rooms that in case, God forbid, there is some fire somewhere, the kind of explosions we see or we will see will be scary.
But one of the retailers, Adam Wotawakil, says they have had some sensitization from NADMO on how to manage their businesses.
Well, let's get more on this from Peter Senu. Peter, let me understand, but for the fire outbreak, recent fire outbreak, the sale of this fuel on tabletop, has it been a concern anyway?
Yes, it's been a concern even for individuals who are not directly in charge of managing the affairs of the district. I've seen that someone's shop, in fact, before this came out, someone's shop almost got burnt down last year because of this activity. And so I'm sure this may have triggered the concern of the chiefs and the elders of the Kejebi district to, as a matter of urgency, clamp down on this activity. Because every day when you go out, you see one table or the other, mounted by the roadside or near a shop, selling these petroleum products. Some of them, even at night, you would see people prepare indomie by some of these shops. Anything could happen at night. And now that even the district fire tender is even not working, if anything happens, your guess is as good as mine. And so I'm sure this is why the residents and then the chiefs and elders are up in arms against these individuals to clamp down on these activities. MFA.
Well, has the fire service in that district in any way reacted to this concern of the Kurunti Hene?
Well, not really. In fact, we are yet to get the official response. But as it stands, the service, the fire tender has been out of commission for over 6 months now. And so naturally, if anything happens by even a minor fire at home, if you don't have a fire tender, anything could happen. And so we are yet to get their official position on this. In fact, DISEC is also yet to spring into action on these individuals. And as and when it happens, we will let our viewers get to know. But nothing has happened as we speak.
Right. Thank you so much, Peter. Definitely a fire outbreak is not a story I like to bring to you on GN today. You're watching Joy News today. We go for a quick breather. When we come back, business, please stay.
Welcome back to Business here on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. The new Bank of Ghana Governor, Dr. Johnson Isiama, has vowed to protect the independence of the central bank. He said this at a meeting today where he formally assumed the role of Governor of the Bank of Ghana.
I was explaining to my colleagues a while ago. His Excellency the President thinks that we should do this. It's a way of enforcing our independence as a central bank. The public must see us, as working together. It's just another transition, which is normal. The good thing is some of the people here are people we know already. And so the transition, you can be sure, will be smooth. Today is day one. We are just touching base, getting updated on issues. As the days unfold, we'll get to other things. Early this morning, we have held a number of discussions already between ourselves. Some briefing has gone on. And so far, so good. You can be sure that everything will be fine. We are focused on our mandate, and that is what matters. And so you can look forward, to us executing our mandate as we've been doing.
Now, moving on, inflation for the month of January 2025 declined marginally from 23.8% in December 2024 to 23.5% according to data from the Ghana Statistical Service. However, food inflation for January went up to 28.3% from 27.8% in December 2024. Non-food inflation went down to 19.2% in January compared to 20.3% in November 2024. And in other developments, the total amount of gold that the Bank of Ghana is holding as reserve build-up has increased significantly. George Wiafe has more.
Fresh data released by the Bank of Ghana showed that these holdings increased from 19.5 tons to 30.5 tons ending December 2024. One program that has played a significant role in this build-up is the Bank of Ghana's Gold Purchase Program, an initiative that has seen the central bank buy more gold with the local currency to build up its reserves, now running into billions of dollars. This has been a mix of dollar cash and gold. For some market watchers, the development could send signals that the Bank of Ghana is now in a strong position to support the Ghana city, as well as meet its debt obligations on behalf of government. The latest economic and financial data released by the Bank of Ghana puts the country's international reserves at $8.9 billion, ending December last year, representing 4 months of import cover.
That's all for business here on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki. We are sports and showbiz right after this break. Stay tuned.
Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Samar Yabua. To our first story, Thames has done it again. Well, the Nigerian singer has struck her first Grammy, beating out of Afrobeat's biggest name to win the Best African Music Performance Award at the 67th Grammys. We have more in the following report.
Thames's Love Me Jeje charmed its way to victory, outshining Davido, Yemi Alade, Burna Boy, Wizkid and Ashake in a heated category. The song, a fresh take on Seyi Sodimu's 1997 classic, has been a global favorite since its release last April. With this win, women continue to dominate the newly introduced category as South Africa's Tyla won the first ever award last year with her viral hit Water.
Whoa, my heart is beating so fast. I'm so sorry. I do work out, but it's not coming, it's not showing up right now. Wow, Dear God, thank you so much for putting me on this stage and bringing me this team. And tomorrow is my mom's birthday, and this is her first Grammys. And I just want to thank you, Mom, because she's really done a lot for me and my brother.
However, it wasn't a clean sweep for Thames. She lost Best R&B Song to Caesar's Saturn and Best Global Music Album to Madbee's Alkebulan 2. Meanwhile, Burna Boy's Higher had many rooting for a win, with Billboard even calling it a strong contender. But in the end, it was Thames's night to shine. From essence to excellence, Thames keeps raising the bar for African music. What's next for the Grammy Queen? We'll be watching. Jacqueline and Samaya Boy's report. Read to you.
Well, still on the Grammys, all hail Queen Bee. Beyonce has finally roped in the album of the year at the 2025 Grammys, making history yet again with her country masterpiece, Cowboy Carter. Well, she entered the event with 11 nominations, bringing her career total to 99, making her the most nominated artist in Grammys history.
As selected by the 13,000 voting members of the Recording Academy, the Grammy goes to Cowboy Carter.
After years of near misses, Beyonce sealed the deal on Sunday, becoming the first black woman this century to win Album of the Year, the first since Lauryn Hill in 1999. But she didn't just stop there. Cowboy Carter also lassoed the Best Country Album Award, making Beyonce the first black woman in over 50 years to win in a country category at the Grammys.
Wow, I really was not expecting this. Wow. I want to thank God, oh my God, that I'm able to still do what I love after so many years. Oh my God. I'd like to thank all of the incredible country artists that accepted this album. We worked so hard on it. I think sometimes genre is a cold word to keep us in our place as artists. And I just want to encourage people to do what they're passionate about. And to stay persistent. Wow. I'd like to thank my beautiful family, all of the artists that were collaborators. Thank you. This wouldn't have been this album without you.
And with this, Queen Bee extends her reign as the most awarded artist in Grammy history, now holding a whopping 35 golden gramophones. This win also comes after her husband Jay-Z pointed criticism last year when he called out the Recording Academy for never giving Beyonce this honor. But now the Beehive can finally celebrate. From R&B to country, Beyonce proves that when it comes to music, she's got the range. Jacqueline and Samaya Boy's report. Read to you.
Congratulations to all the winners at the 67th Grammys Award. Well, back to Ghana. From Kweku, the traveler, to Zama Disco, Black Sharif is on a winning streak, and his latest song, Lord I'm Amazed, is no exception. Well, the Ghanaian hitmaker has struck another record, debuting at number 10 on the UK Afrobeat chart.
The song became the most Shazam track in Ghana and shot straight to number 1 on Apple Music Ghana. But it didn't stop there. Lord I'm Amazed is making waves across Africa and Europe, proving that Blacko's reach knows no bounds. With its gospel-infused melodies and deep reflections, the track gives fans a peek into Black Sherry's journey, his struggles, his faith, and his relentless drive. It's the perfect follow-up to his Zama Disco concert in Accra, where he rocked the stage with 23,000 fans. And the heat is far from over. Blacko is revving up with his second album, Iron Boy, which promises even more introspection and fire. From the streets of Konongo to the global charts, Black Sherif's story is still unfolding one hit at a time. Jacqueline and Sumaya Boy's report. Read to you.
Well, it's a wrap for the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Samaya Yabwa. Over to you, Emefa Apasia.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Except you feel poorly today, right?
I know, right? Just a little bit under the weather, banner. Yeah. I mean, the whole vet's in Wahala.
I know. Feel better, so you come tomorrow stronger.
Definitely.
Thank you. So Tyler last year.
Yeah.
And then this year, Thames.
You know, everyone was expecting Burna Boy after last year, but then I think it's a big win for Nigeria because Thames still made it for Nigerians. You're waiting for Ghanaians, though.
Big win, it's paining me, let me just say. But anyway, congratulations to her and thank you for bringing us that story. Thank you so much as well for watching today. But for more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. As you find the biggest story, elevate your lifestyle, build, finish. You see that as our ad, but that's the banner, but the big one, you see NPP MPs to beef up security as they claim they don't feel safe. That is the biggest story on the portal. But thank you so much for watching today. My name is Emefa Akosia Adeti. Jackie, come along.